Is this my good side? Is this my good? Oh, I don't have a bad side. As you can see, live from my car, it's me, your host, Johnny. Hooray! Doing something a little bit different today. Figured that, I was taking a little break from school out here in the car, and I couldn't fucking relax for the life of me. Something's been on my mind the past couple of days. I got asked a question in my inbox on YouTube. I want to thank a YouTube user. I hope I get this right because I'm not even looking at the name right now. WWF is not WWE. And the question at hand is, do I see Mason Ryan, a guy that everybody seems to talk about, in passing, via text, whether it's in the Facebook groups or whether it's just, leaving it on other people's comments for videos and shit, but I haven't really seen too many videos dedicated to this. Is Mason Ryan essentially worthy of a main event push, and do I see him doing well as a heel? I think that was a question. If not, maybe I just morphed the question into something that was easier for me to answer. Either way, I'm addressing that today in this video. Here's my problem. The last time that we saw Mason Ryan on television, the guy was legit greener than goose shit. Granted, he's been an FCW heavyweight champion. It's kind of where they found baby Batista here with his fucking roided out physique. He's definitely has the look in his favor, but oh man, you know what he really reminds me of, and this is gonna sound kind of corny, but there was this guy years and years back, and his name was Jim Hellwig, and he played a character called the Ultimate Warrior. And the Ultimate Warrior looked like he was chiseled out of fucking stone. He had an immaculate physique. I can say that as a straight guy about another guy. He was literally roided out of his ass, but this dude was muscles personified. I think he had a more impressive physique than Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan sometimes looked bloated, and Warrior just looked like he was gonna kill you. That's kind of what Mason Ryan reminds me of. I think that they could be successful, in giving him kind of like a big monster babyface push, if you will. He really doesn't do a whole lot of moves from what I've seen. He could be a very high impact, high energy kind of guy. But I don't see him working well as a heel. And I guess one of the reasons why would be that traditionally for me, heels tend to dominate matches a lot. They tend to have the upper hand a lot. And they tend to use a lot of tactics that look like they would require a lot of thinking. And from what I've seen from Mason Ryan, I'm not saying that he's retarded or, really mentally not there or stupid by any means. But the way in which they presented him as kind of like a fucking follower in the new Nexus or whatever, I'm not convinced that he could stand really on his own with a whole lot of work on the microphone, and he's probably somebody that needs a manager. He's very limited in the ring as far as I'm concerned, and I'm pretty sure the reason that we didn't see him get that U.S. title push when he was coming back and popping Dolph Ziggler a couple of times was that Ziggler went in the back and played his fucking politics, because that was around the same time that John Morrison was in and out of the title scene, and Alex Riley also got screwed out of being on TV with a push for that belt. So, Dolph wanted to give it to his friend Zack Ryder really hard, and you see where that ended up. He's off television in some stupid injury angle. Yeah, Mason Ryan. I don't see him working well as a heel. Maybe in I don't know, 2 to 3 years as his character could develop, as he could become a mainstay, maybe do his own promos. I don't even know, because I haven't really heard his voice enough to get at it. What would he do? I haven't seen a whole hell of a lot of him. I haven't really done my homework. I'm just throwing out there from what I've seen, from what WWE has given us, from him. Now, I will say this. It was very impressive when they did put him in that new Nexus angle, and I think it was Kane tried to choke slam him, and Mason Ryan was like, "Nuh-uh." And yeah, I believe it was when Kane and Show were in that tag team feud with Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel, I want to say. Or yeah. That was back then. I thought they could have done that debut a lot better when they did that. All of a sudden he branched off from Punk, and then you really never saw him again until the whole thing with Ziggler, and it was like twice in the ring where he slammed him, and then that was it. They never really had like a big, huge blow-off match or a feud or anything developed. But I think, if anything, that he's got that look that WWE is like fucking wetting their pants over. And, in terms of heels also on the roster, I think that roster is loaded up with heels right now. You haven't really seen anybody else that can become a prominent face in the company. They tried to switch R-Truth back, I think, out of desperation, but, he doesn't seem over enough to me. Or maybe that's just because, WWE is holding him back and they make him job out a lot. I think he could be a lot more over. But essentially, you've got Cena on top, throwing boulders down at everybody else as a face, even though recently I would say that Rock is a face and Cena's turning into a dick that really needs to change up his gimmick because it's stale as fuck. That's a video for a whole nother time. They've got Rey Mysterio if he ever comes back from injury. They're trying to force Randy Orton down our throat as a face, which is boring, predictable, and he's booked like Superman, like Cena, so... and he uses heel tactics, so fuck him. Realistically, they don't have anybody. I mean, maybe you could argue Big Show, but now he's kind of moved down in the ladder toward, I guess, an Intercontinental type feud with Cody Rhodes. You've got Kofi Kingston, who might be on the rise, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be stuck in mid-card hell forever. I don't ever see him being a main eventer. So as many, Money in the Banks and as many Elimination Chambers as you want to try to pass him off in, I don't think he's going to get to that next level. I think that, yeah, he's got a little bit of flashy in-ring style, but that's best suited for a tag division or probably a lower card where you're not going to get as many bulky guys in there to work with. I don't know. If you can't physically impress me to the point where you could pick up a guy like a Mark Henry and give him a body slam, I don't think you're going to make it as a world title holder. That's just my 2 cents. That's why I really can't get behind the CM Punk and Daniel Bryan stuff. But again, that's unrelated, and that's another biased opinion. But as far as Mason Ryan goes, he could really do well as a babyface because they need it right now. They need somebody they can inject in there. If you remember when they did the Brodus Clay debut and this gimmick with the Funkasaurus, he was definitely trying to get over as a babyface, and it was much needed. And I think that's a lot of what the reception was, is that people just missed that other option to cheer for, because you've gotten the Ted DiBiase's that they were teasing for a long time, and now you never see them on television. You had Alex Riley got taken off of television. I mean, unless you're watching Superstars and NXT every week, I don't think there's a whole lot of baby faces going around. I think mainly it's been heel, and then a face every now and then. Or they really don't know what they want to do with people. Like, I thought maybe they would give Epico and Primo a run as baby faces, but apparently that's not the case. It's a heel stable with Rosa. You had a tag match with them on Raw with Vicky Guerrero's little pack there, the Jackalfs. They're heels. Then you had Kofi and Truth, who had won, a week or two ago, but then got, completely buried in this last match. So, I mean, I could see Mason Ryan doing a lot better as a babyface, getting behind him, because even with his limited moveset, he'd be able to get, pounded on, come back Ultimate Warrior style, maybe with that Berserker Frenzy kind of thing, do a couple of power moves and win the match believably. Because they kind of do the same thing with Ezekiel Jackson. They market him as a big powerhouse, but then they don't really fucking ever do anything with him. So, but at least Mason Ryan is the right color for that company too. You got a take that into account because Vince McMahon doesn't particularly like to push the minorities. All in all, I mean, I just spoke for 10 minutes about this, and I'm really kind of concerned with what other people think, but I wanted to give, the WWF is not WWE's question a fair amount of time to kick around in my own head, and obviously this is unscripted. It's in my car. I'm not using any notes. It's just whatever's coming off the top of my head. If you have some input that you would like to share, if you want to join in the conversation, video response it, comment, whatever, I get back to everything. I address everything that comes my way. I'm sure that, the asker of said question would really like to know what other people's thoughts are too. So, yeah, I guess that's really it for now. Stay tuned for, upcoming videos. Hopefully I'll get to do a lot more with the girlfriend there, Venti Wifey. And that's about that. So, thanks a lot. And until next time, peace. I really gotta get my own fucking outro. That's terrible. I can't be ripping that guy off. I mean, he might make a burial marathon video of me or something, and my fragile ego wouldn't be able to take it. I mean, I already live at home with my mother in her fucking basement. What more could you possibly, rag on me for that I wouldn't want to go hang myself from a post? But that's for another time and another video. Take care of yourselves, whatever, and I'm going to go to school now.